All right, guys, what's going on, world? It's your boy, Larry Wills, coming to you again with another episode of NBL Business, the podcast. And we're showing folks how to turn business credit into passive income. All right, so the 10th and final episode. Wow. This is the 10th episode. You guys been following the journey, following my team journey. And I've been pretty much teaching the beginners the basics and the fundamentals of how to grow a company. And so, seeing as though I've told you guys, pretty much everything we've been doing, showing you how we're building pretty much $1 million empire for 20 of my beta folks and my members on my team. Well, I want to do something more than that this month. I want to actually walk you through it as well with them. And so for the last few, like 7 days or so, I'm going to say about 14 days total, it took me a little while to create the last few episodes in this podcast series. And that's because I've been creating a specific methodology that any beginner or solo entrepreneur can go through that's going to walk them through the process of perfecting their cash flow. See, there are a few key things that's missing when, people try to start the journey down entrepreneurship. All right, I'm going to try to break this down in a very specific and practical manner so that you can understand it. All right, so the first thing is that the first thing we have to do when we travel down this road, or the first thing we realize is that we understand that we aren't smart, right? So the first, I'm gonna say, X factor in success is your knowledge. Some people, and there's 3 levels of knowledge. There's the people who went through the Ivy League business schools. There's the people who've been through the Life of Hard Knocks Academy, and I'm talking about the Guru universe. Right, the ones where we buy this educational materials and we attend these masterminds or coaching groups and things of that nature. We spent more money than people spend to go to an Ivy League business school. All right, I'm talking about those folks. And then there's the people at the bottom of the barrel who can't afford the education, so they're out here searching for the free information. So there's 3 levels of knowledge that you're bringing to the table. Right, you're either very smart in business systems, processes, artificial intelligence, or you're really smart in marketing and sales, or you don't have a clue and you're trying to figure it out. Okay? I'm like coming off of the intermediate side of things. Whereas though I went to the top of the line in the Guru universe. Okay, the difference is simple. I didn't just try to take that information and learn from that side of things, because I always learn in 3 different manners. I learn in the way where as though I'm trying to learn it to know it. Then I learn in a way where I'm trying to learn it to actually go teach it to somebody else. That's the way that I retain the information. Okay. And then I'm trying to learn it in a way that's actually going to allow me to duplicate it for myself, to actually implement what I'm learning and what I'm teaching. Okay. And that's how I model success from the people who's already become successful before me. And I do that by, yes, learning the information, teaching the information, but I went a step further and I went and worked for the people who created the information, because I didn't want to figure it out. I didn't want to search on Google, go trying to find free information and learn the long-winded way, I should say. I wanted to simply ask a question and you tell me the answer. Right? That's the fastest road to freedom to me. Tell me so I know, and then I do it. That's what it is. Okay, and so this 10-day boot camp that's coming up is going to tell you the knowledge so that you can put it in place for yourself. And then I'm going to show you, I've been telling you the knowledge so that you can put it in place for yourself. We have our free LLC certification program, right? That's where you go to freshstart.nblbusiness.com so you can actually implement the foundation for yourself without any hiccups, right? We've had about 55 members come through that program in the beta mode, and every single person got their Low-Risk LLCs flawlessly, unfailable, every one of them. I didn't have the 10% of success folks, the 30% of people who's doing all right, and then the 1% is who's just failing, right? I didn't have that. Or the 71st. I didn't have that. We had 100% successful in completing the information. How? Because there's a systematic process that when you put in place, everybody can do. It does not matter on your skill set or your knowledge when trying to put this together. That's the difference, okay? And we're moving right into step 2 with the 10-day bootcamp. So what's the boot camp all about? Well, because you got your credentials, you got your business address, you got your pretty much all your stuff that falls in place for your Low-Risk LLC, right? And then you actually received the certificate from the government. You got your EIN number, and now you have your class, and now you have your EIN number. Now what we're getting ready to do? We're getting ready to give you your corporate profile. Your corporate profile is going to have your corporate profile is going to have a few key elements in it. The first element is your NAIS code or ISC code. That's your SIC code. This is your classification code. All right. So let's say, for instance, that you're a barbershop and you live in the 21202 zip code. All right. And so if you're a barbershop in the 21202 on the 02 zip code, how many other barbershops is in that 02 zip code? Right. And so if you're a barber in that zip code, I'm a barber in that zip code, and let's say I'm a barber and you're a barber, and we and the IRS assigned us a barbershop classification code. Yes, barbershops are high risk, so you don't want that type of code. And if you told, if you filled out on your paperwork on your LLCs that you are a barber and that's what they gave you your EIN number off of, you just made yourself high risk and you'll never get approved for money. That's instant denial based on the green light system. Okay. And I'll tell you about that in a second. But the point is that this code is so the IRS, when it comes time to audit, can decipher which company ain't playing right. So if you're a barber and I'm making $25,000 in the year, and you're a barber, you're making 25, and that barber, and that barber, and that barber, and that barber, and then all of a sudden you open up your new shop in this district and you make $400 million at your barbershop, the IRS is going to say, whoa. Based on this code, he only supposed to be making this much money. Why is he at this much? Let's go ahead and audit them, and that's what happens. Okay, so they give you this code so they can peer into it, your activity, to make sure that you playing a fair game. That's what it is. And they give every company, I don't care what you are on this earth, a classification code. If you don't have a classification code, then you're instant denied because they don't know that you know how to handle money based on your code. Period. When you get a low risk classification code, whoa, that's telling the IRS to go tell every bank on planet, hey, this guy is low risk and he knows what to do with money. Give him all the money you want. Okay, so that's the first thing we told you guys to do. We left the program open. You go to the website, freshstart.abundancebusinesseducation.com. You read the letter, click the link, register, and then get in. Watch 5 videos and be low risk. It's really easy. We had 55 people go through that situation to make sure that it was perfected before we actually launched. Okay. It's perfected. Now we launched. Here's the second process. What's the second step? Your corporate profile. The first thing you need is your your SIC code. Let me just go. You need your SIC code. All right. So we're going to give you access to the SIC code. That code is connected to an exchange. Right, is an exchange that all businesses in the world actually report the activity to. Why is they doing this? Because in that exchange, if your activity is being reported under your code, then that exchange also houses all the banks, all the people with money that's lending to the SBA, Small Business Association, and all small businesses across the planet. That's the only place. That's the exchange that tracks it all. If you're in there, you show great activity, you show great corporate profile, you have all your credentials set up properly, you are now pretty much unlimited when it comes to funding, my friends. Unlimited. Okay, that's the second step on what we have to do. We got to set your corporate profile up. Now, inside your corporate profile, it also allows you to activate your Dun & Bradstreet experience. Your Dun & Bradstreet for business, your Experian for business, your Equifax for business. And then once all of those things are set up, you can confidently say that I am not part of consumer world no more. I'm actually validated in commerce. You understand what I'm saying? And now when the IRS look at you as an entrepreneur, a solo entrepreneur, a small business owner, you can with confidence hold your head up and say, hey, I'm validated and I'm certified. And if you ask them for money, they'll be throwing money at you because they know in order for you to have that level of certification, it's for you to be classified that way, you are a very smart person when it comes to the money knowledge that they hold secret to their hearts. You understand what I'm saying? The things that they use to lend people the money. All right. That's the second thing that we need to do. Make sure your corporate profile is set up. And then the third thing we need to do is put you on the path to perfecting your cash flow. So I'm going to do this in 10 days. What's going to happen at the end of the 10 days? At the end of the 10th day, you should have your low risk classification. You should understand every scenario when it comes to your corporate profile so that you are not messing yourself up when you start getting all this money. And then third, your foundation set in place, your structure, so that the cash flow can start rolling in. Once you get all those things set up, we're gonna run the campaign for you, right? We're gonna run your first real campaign as an entrepreneur. This campaign is not a marketing and sales campaign, okay? It's a campaign that fixes your cash flow. And this way, once you leave the boot camp, you're going to know, for one, where your status as an entrepreneur. Two, where you're headed based on what you love to do, based on the community, based on who you want to serve, the way that you want to do it. There are no rules to this game. You create those rules based on the foundational principles that you understand. All right. So for one, we're going to be showing you. Well, you're going to have all your profiles set up, your entire situation, your foundational pieces set up. For two, you're going to have your corporate profile put in place. You're going to be funded. You're going to have access to all types of money. And then for three, we're going to run your campaign. Okay. And so it's not a matter of making sales when you understand the fundamentals. It's a matter of, are you doing the right things? That's what I'm saying. Say, are you doing the right things? And again, guys, this is my first time actually teaching it at the scale that we're teaching it on. I've always done it. And so that's why I'm being very careful in delivering this information. That's why I'm putting you guys one-on-one with me. That's why we're going to be sitting in the trenches. We're going to be building this stuff for real. Okay. I'm walking my peoples through the $1 million mark. And then from there, we're going to the $47 billion mark. But first, we got to get past the how do you make $100 every single day mark, right? And you do that by setting up a good foundation, putting a good systematic process in place, and then deploying it into the marketplace. And that's what the whole 10-day boot camp is all about: your foundation, your deployment, and then your success story. Okay, so let's go ahead and rock off, guys. It's your boy Larry Wills. This is the 10th and final episode. We're launching this episode today. And then from this episode, send me an email. All right. LarryWillsInfo@gmail.com. Say, hey, Larry, I listened to all 10 episodes and I actually want to join your boot camp. And this is the biggest challenge that I'm facing in my company. You send me that email and I'll make it my personal business to reach out to you personally so we can solve your biggest challenge in your business on a personal level. Okay, that was what I'm doing for you. I'm only going to do this for the first 6 people. All right, because this is going to be pitched out to the world. And I'm not going to have a lot of time to actually perfect this. So it's only 6 people I'm going to give this level of sophistication to. All right, I'm really good. I ain't cheap. And I know a lot of stuff when it comes to making money. Okay, and so if I'm extending this invitation to you, understand that all I know how to do is make money. That's why I teach money and not marketing. Okay, that's why I teach money systems and not marketing systems. I'm good at marketing and sales. Did all my life too. But you aren't good at marketing and sales. So if I teach you that, you need a certain level of knowledge to begin, to win, and to succeed. If I teach you money, all you got to do is know how to use your pen. Can you write? If you can, meet me on the inside. freshstart.abundancebusinesseducation.com, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. Oh, and one more thing, guys. The challenge starts on the 10th, September the 10th. All right. So that's actually the boot camp day. It'll be day 1. And pretty much, I'm going to let this episode go off, explaining to you guys what we're going to be talking about. But we're going to be going over choosing your business model, setting up your corporate profile. We're going to be going over the steps, the fundamentals. We're going to be going over the teaching skill and how you actually turn your brain into a walking price tag. All right, we're going to be going over